But I'll
Well,
be there. I'm gonna order a ticket
Yeah.
probably like a day before or something. Y'all going on
yeah,
Saturday, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go Saturday.
yeah. And then homecoming the following week, man. Shout out to all the HBCUs
Sure.
doing
Shout out
homecoming.
to all the HBCUs, man. We out here. Shout out to ODU having a brunch homecoming.
They cooked.
Yeah, I might as well pull out the Blackstone. Yo, they homecoming started 10 a.m.
Oh,
What
it's
time?
over at 2.
And
What
it's
time
over
is
at
it?
2.
What time is the game?
Probably 12, maybe.
Don't even matter, bro.
Yeah, but they tell me it's from 10 to 2.
When is it?
It solidifies that why we have the best homecoming though. Like easily.
They all be at hours.
There's gonna be 8 hours anyway, but now they're officially everybody's gonna Uber on over.
Is that homecoming
Park.
the same weekend again?
You don't know. It's everybody's homecoming that Saturday. It's
Who's
ours,
everybody?
Hamptons, ODUs,
Everyone's
and
all the
Virginia State.
HBCUs, all the
You know, Hampton can stay where they at. You know,
Having a
they
reunion.
yeah, don't come over our way because we definitely ain't coming to y'all. We definitely ain't coming to y'all unless it's some single players trying to get at something at night. But other than that, during that homecoming,
None of us. Well, I'll be there.
yeah, you won't see none of us. Y'all enjoy y'all homecoming. Stay where you at. You know what I mean? But y'all, I guess y'all welcome. I guess.
Certain people.
Yeah, certain people, not everybody. Especially not the cop that shut them down. Like what was that? Like 5 years ago?
Smooth shut them down too.
Crazy.
Yeah, y'all can turn on that boogie woogie music off. Yeah. But before we get started, I just want to say the champ is here.
You beat out Willie?
One? I think he might have won by one match.
We do this every fucking we do this every pay-per-view. Don't stop playing with me, Dan.
I don't.
It was a one match difference.
We do this every pay-per-view.
You picked Stephanie Becker? You picked Stephanie Becker.
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's what it was. I'm pretty sure it was like a one match difference.
Yeah, you picked. Okay, so I know you picked Stephanie. You picked Bronson. Who else did you pick? I went.
Big Bronky. I picked Rhea, and I picked Seth.
Yeah. I think we had everything else right, other than that one. Me and you went Tiffany because we refused to believe they was going to push Stephanie like that. And so we went against
that.
Because someone had to go opposite unless it was going to be a tie.
And your exact words were, Shaq, what you're saying makes logical sense why they should pick Stephanie. But this is WWE, and they're gonna. That doesn't matter. They're gonna pick Tiffany.
I thought you're right. I thought I said that about. I thought you picked Cody. I thought you picked Cody to beat Seth.
I said I want to pick Cody for the storyline, but Seth has to win, so I'm picking Seth.
You did say that. Okay. Well, all right. Well, you the champ. Props to you. You know what I mean? That's 4-1. Impressive. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, we made some risky picks. I ain't gonna lie. So you ain't pick. I can't say you picked safe this time. This is one that you earned. I give you your respect for this.
I get the pinfall clean. And now this is one I earned. This cool.
Yeah, and you on your hero's journey too, man. For all my people who still watch wrestling, man, there's no more Vision. Vision is now blurry. That 2020 ain't there no more. That 2020 ain't there no more, dog. Contacts.
First of all, shout out to Raw being on at 8 in the morning or whatever time it came on. I had no clue.
Clutch.
We was
the one day I decided to work from home, boy. I was like, wait a minute.
Come to my class. It was like, yo, do you know Raw is on right now? I said, it is?
Yeah, I messaged Shaq. I was like, the fact that Raw is on while we teaching is sick. But I mean, we get it.
And then he came to my door and was like, yo, come outside now.
Yeah, I was like, yo, what's up? He was working with a student. I'm like, nah. I said, hey,
no, right now, come here.
I said, nah. I said, come out here. I said,
Bron turned on Seth, and I said, already?
Damn, this is before I text y'all about that shit.
We ain't see it. We ain't got no service.
In the dungeon, I forgot.
So literally, like I just happened to be chilling. I had a break during, so it was about to be lunch. You know what I mean? Kids about to go. I was like, let me just get on Instagram real quick. Not even thinking about it. First thing I see is a picture of Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed and Braun standing over Seth. And I see the video. I said, oh, snap. I went right to Shaq's door. I said, come out here right now, dog. I said, I know you all like spoilers, but I'm sorry. I got to tell you this, right?
I said,
and
already?
I told him, crazy. But before we get into that, because we definitely gonna talk about that and we're gonna break that all down. Let's talk about two things real quick. One, we're going to go ahead and get this one out the way before. TNA Bound for Glory. I'm not going to sit up here and cap like I watched it. I watched some of it, but I didn't get a chance to watch the full thing. I believe you two guys did. First and foremost, congrats to Mike Santana for finally winning. I've been a fan of his since the tag. I can't remember the name of the tag team, but I've been... No, one that was in AEW.
Powerful.
Pride and Powerful, yeah. Yeah, I was a fan of that tag team, man. Been a fan of his for a long time, so I'm happy to see it get just due. But
their breakup is kind of unfortunate because that was based on real life shit.
I mean, that was real life stuff.
Yeah,
they
real life stuff going on.
Yeah, he talked about that on the his interview with Chris Van Fleet. Yeah, so that really was unfortunate, man. But you two, what were your takeaways from Bound to Glory, man? Bound for Glory. What did you guys think about the pay-per-view? Where y'all at with it?
I'll go first.
It was a solid pay-per-view. It was decent. It wasn't like mind-blowing like all A+ matches, but I like the fact that they set an attendance record with their crowd. I think it was like 7K plus. So dope. We got to see the retirement of the Dudley Boys, which is dope. It's a good thing they retired because all positive here because but great. I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be a negativity highlighter. I want to give them their moment, right?
You expect from 50-plus-year-old people, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
I understand, right? I understand. I want to give them their moment. So dope. They got the moment where they took their boots off in the ring after the match and they gave them to the Hardys. Like, dope moment. Like, you could see that wasn't planned. Like, they had no idea because Jet was like legit crying in the ring. Like, he was breaking down for the moment. So very dope. The match, like you said, shout out to Mike Santana, but I text y'all when I watch it because I couldn't watch it live. That Leon Slater, Javon Evans match.
Chef's kiss.
And I want to see what Cornette's reaction is to that match. Because did it have what he calls flippy shit? Yes, it did. But it was flippy shit with a purpose in psychology.
Made sense.
It makes sense. So I am so curious to see what he says about this match because it makes sense what they were doing. And in trash. Like, I text Willie. Willie almost spoiled it for me. I'm not there yet. Hold on here, Willie. We call Big Brother spoiler alert, dog. Willie will ruin something for you quick and then laugh about it, right?
Me and Willie the same. Like, we're going to watch it regardless. We don't care.
Exactly.
That's not me.
That just makes me want to know how it was executed.
Exactly.
That's what happened. I got to see how this happened.
That's like somebody telling you the ending of Sixth Sense or like the first Saw. You don't want to watch it no more. You don't want to see it no more.
I'm like,
shoot, I will. Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Once you know the reveal, there's no need to watch it. Like once you know,
you got to see how. Got to see how it happened. Got to see how it happened.
Surprised. Don't tell
me
how you
know the people in this house. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yes, and then shout out to Mike. And like I said, it was a very good pay-per-view, decent pay-per-view. The A matches I give was the Leon Slater and Javon Evans and the title match. I give both those matches A's. Everything else across the board was like solid B, maybe C. Yeah.
I agree.
Before you go, I'll say this real quick. I think it's very dope to see Javon become like a great worker. You know what I'm saying? Like Javon, like, I think for me, I was more so banking on like him using his athleticism in a lot of matches to kind of get over, and then we might see him become a worker later on. No, like Javon is a great worker now.
Like, 21, something like
21.
That? Around the same.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah,
so yeah,
later, like 20, 23, some shit like 22, some shit like that.
You go ahead, Willie.
Leon Slater's 21. So Javon Evans is probably at 20 or 21 also.
I think
they both 21.
They both 21.
So
it's amazing.
Yeah. So just to piggyback on what Shaq's talking about, I agree with everything he's saying. It was an overall good show. You know, you can't really find any complaints or gripes unless you are just like trying to be a hater, I feel. Obviously things could be better. The Dudley's Hardy match, for what it was worth, it's cool. The ending was pretty weak.
I'll give that match an A just because of the nostalgia. That's why that match will get an A. Right.
The ending was kind of weak, but like, okay. Like, he went through the table, but, it is what it is. But
I was like, they're going to end it like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. They can't take them crazy bumps no more. I get it. Yeah. Because I think Devon might have took one bump that entire match.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I already knew he wasn't going to be worth.
Yeah, I think he took one bump.
but what if the ending was
Yeah,
was
he
the
was
highlight
walking
of
like
that?
Kurt Angle was walking in his match with the Shield. He was walking
Yeah,
like
there
that.
you
Yeah.
go. The ending of that was good. I think the highlight of the night was the Leon Slater Javon Evans match. Even beyond Mike Santana finishing his story, I felt that match ticked all the boxes for what the future is of professional
Definitely.
wrestling.
That's
Whether
good.
that's
I like
them
that.
with
I like that.
WWE, and I'm pretty sure that WWE is going to do everything in their power eventually to when we eventually find out that they bought TNA,
TNA.
or they're slowly signing more and more of their wrestlers. You know what I mean? Whatever that ends up being, I'm interested to see what ends up happening with Javon and Leon, because I think, hear me honest, I think Leon, I would love to see him more in an AEW ring than I would in a WWE ring. I think Javon has opened the floodgates to an extent for that style to maybe work on the main roster. However, I'm still concerned based on how they have currently used Penta and Ray Phoenix. However, I think with
Give me how they use Ray Phoenix. Penta's all right.
albeit Penta's getting pushed,
Penta's
but
fine.
yeah, but his aura has kind of dropped a little bit. I think
I agree. All right.
I feel that AEW does a much better job of packaging the smaller wrestler. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I hated how that match ended, obviously, but you understand why.
Like,
And,
yes,
and
when you said it, I was like, okay, I understand, but no, man.
it's not what you wanted. You wanted a
Yeah.
winner. But
Yeah.
for those
Yeah.
two wrestlers and where their future is, where it
That's a
lies,
pretty ending,
you
right?
can't have it right. You can't have that win-loss right
Right.
now.
Let them run that back.
Yeah. Now, just and the thing I look forward to whatever the future holds for them. When you think about it, as they progress and knock on wood, if they make it to WWE's main roster, you'll have him, you have Javon, Leon, Carmelo, Trick. That's respectfully, that's 4 bigger names, like potential future superstars that are black that we ain't had, like potentially, let alone be that style of wrestler.
They won't have Wesley.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't know why they did that, but
Yeah.
but
And speaking of Bound for Glory, Dan, hear me when I say this. I am going to give Trick Williams credit. ISO.
Thank you.
He cut a promo that was very fucking good.
he can cut a promo now.
He can cut a promo. Yes, he can. You just hate on the country lingo, man. That's all it is, man. You a city boy hating on the country lingo.
But this was a different. He wasn't that silly. Let's talk about it. No, he was serious. He had a serious tone, and he was slowed down with his speech. And I said, "This is a good promo." And I was like, and I'm going to wait for the podcast to let them know that I think that was a very good promo. He slowed down his speech. He slowed down his tone. It was like, let's talk about it. Trick Willie here, kids. We're gonna do that. No, that's silly. Nigga, don't talk like that. But
no, that's just not for you, dog. That's not your cup of tea. That's not your cup of tea.
Good,
his promos for all the country folk, man.
Big Crit and everybody else, right?
Yeah, man.
Good promo. Trick cut a very good promo at Bound for Glory.
That's dope, man. All right, let's get into Crown Jewel, man. First and foremost, first match that we need to talk about is not the opener. I'm gonna save that. We need to talk about, for me, the shocker of the entire event. And just for me, Stephanie Vaquer beating Tiffany. That, for me personally, that was the shocker of the whole event. Not saying, and I want to be clear to anybody watching or listening to this episode, like, it's not to say that Stephanie Vaquer can't beat Tiffany or that she didn't have the right to beat Tiffany, right? But when you look at how WWE always books stuff, and typically, and maybe this is part of the shakeup that they was talking about in regards to like the writing and what's going on and stuff like that, and the viewership and kind of trying to like make things happen or whatnot. But typically, somebody like Tiffany, they choose to protect because that's their what Willie always say. You one of the things you gotta have is you gotta have the look, and not to say that Stephanie don't, but it's obvious that they back Tiffany in a way that they don't back nobody else. Because
did you hear Stephanie's fucking promo on Monday Night Raw?
I did.
That's why I'm saying that shit, bro. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck was that?
It wasn't good. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. And they typically don't do that. And it's not to say, it's the same reason why they never put the belt on Shinsuke. You know what I'm saying? When Shinsuke was like hot You know what I'm saying? Like he was on fire, you know what I mean? And to see Stephanie win, dope moment for her, but it also was a shock on typically how they do stuff. So how did y'all feel about the match itself? I thought the match was okay. I didn't think it was anything special, which was that kind of disappointed me. I felt like they had a chance to put on. And I don't think I necessarily blame one person or the other. I just don't think the chemistry was there to put on a classic. But it was an okay match, you know what I mean? But what did you guys think?
Okay match, like you said. I think like I know they want to. I know they are pushing Stephanie Becker very hard. You know what I mean? She deserves it. I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
And I hate to be like, oh, well, maybe there's some background into why outside of her own merit. But I wouldn't be surprised if part of this is a recruiting mechanism for other wrestlers.
I was
You know
thinking
what I
the same
mean?
thing.
Whether it's from the, you can't speak on the Latin side, whether it's a CMLL, MLW, whatever, you know what I mean? That they're trying to eventually recruit and show, hey, we can build you up into that superstar. So I don't know. I'd be curious if there is a background reasoning behind that other than, oh yeah, Fair deserves it. Because although it's logical, it makes sense for them. Like, I mean, everything you can say about why she deserves it, can't you say that about Tiffany?
Yeah. You
You
make
know?
her a megastar, and then I guess you use that for AAA and stuff like that. Cause they own
Right.
AAA, so
Yeah.
so I'm sure and I'm sure that what's going on in TNA, they want to get that viewership and stuff like that more with AAA or whatnot. You make her a megastar, you can eventually, whether she still has a title or gets to keep it, like she can eventually challenge for that AAA women's title, and you know what I'm saying, you use that to boost their ratings too. So, Shaq, what you think, bro?
Like, y'all make valid points, but the reason why I picked Stephanie, right, was because you can name all the feuds Tiffany has had and matches she's had already since winning that title. Like I said, she's solidified already. Like, her losing that match does nothing to hurt her, like, at all. She's still gonna go back to SmackDown. She's still gonna talk her shit. She's still gonna be the champ. But Stephanie is new on the block. She just won that title. Like, we have to put some steam behind her some way. So why not have her beat the person who's running shit over there at SmackDown? She's running shit. She's running through all her competition. Like, that's why it only made logical sense for me, because we have to put some steam behind this new women's champion. What sense would it make in my mind that this person just been crowned? We have her win this title, have her beat this person, but she just got her ass beat by Tiffany.
Just for her to go into a feud with Roxanne Perez. Like, what are we doing? Not to say Roxanne Perez isn't popping, but I mean, who is on Raw right now?
You know me. I love pop rocks. You know
I
me,
love her
but
too. But I'm saying, like,
No pop rock slander will be
what
coming.
Tiffany has been dealing with on SmackDown from a feud standpoint,
Which
as
is
far as
why
name
she
recognition.
solidified.
And that's what
Right.
I'm saying. Like,
Which is why she solidified.
you make sense right there, Shaq, with that. But then it's like, damn, just to go back, like, Roxanne Perez is not a downgrade. I'm not saying a downgrade.
yeah. Nah,
She is
I
not
get you.
that. Because they're going to
Yeah.
put on some fire matches once they get in the ring. And they have the storyline behind it from NXT and stuff.
But she don't
But
have the
it's
star
like,
power right now.
yeah, like compared
Yeah.
to if you're going 1-to-1 from champions, who Tiffany has had to deal with, former champs, all that stuff, and who has Stephanie McCare had to deal with so far?
Yeah. I think the only thing that hurts Tiffany is that, like, for her to somebody they're trying to establish, now she's not looked at as the A champ in the women's division. The A champ is Stephanie Vicur. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know what I mean? That's the part where that is like, that's why I thought Tiffany was a lock to win, because that's the one that they kind of like put their stamp behind or whatever. But it shows, like, you know what I mean, on the SmackDown side, she cool. There's a rumor that at Saturday night's main event, she's gonna face Jade. So we're gonna see what happens with that.
Oh, Tiff?
Not yeah, Tiff. Tiff's gonna face Jade.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if Bianca might be close to coming back, because I think they may be just holding off on that title swap until Bianca comes
Yeah,
back. So
exactly.
her and Jay
Jade
confused.
might win, and like you said, Bianca come back. I will say this though, when Stephanie crosses paths with three people, EO again, Mommy, and when who's the third? I just had Liv Morgan. When she come across those three, I will say that will be special, especially when Liv comes back.
I'm curious what they're going to do with her then. Like, are they going to put her over on Liv, Rhea, and Io?
And that's the one thing that has not been talked about. Nobody has talked about low key how much Raw is missing Liv Morgan right now, yo. Like from the women's side, nobody has talked about
Judgment
that.
Day is
Yeah,
kind of mid right now. Dom has been holding
yes,
it down solo.
yeah, he's been
Real
holding it
talk.
down. But Raw
Yeah.
is low key missing Liv Morgan, man. So I can't wait for her to come back. Let's talk about the opening match, man. Roman versus Bronson. I knew when we made that prediction. I knew Bronson was going to win. I low key did not see. I just couldn't pick against my tribal chief, man. I knowing that he was going to lose, I just couldn't do it. But
can't stop the glaze. I understand, brother. You can't stop the glaze. We get it. We get it.
You can't stop the
side note. For all of you that's commenting on that post, just know I'm ready. I'm ready. I got the facts. It's just facts. You can say whatever you want. But on that post I made, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Bring the smoke. I'm ready because y'all got. I'll go into details later. We'll talk about it later. But anyway, yeah, I knew. No, they ain't being disrespectful.
Remember, I ended the show last week.
What we say every week as far as debating, like that's what's going on right now. You know what I mean?
Got you.
But my thing is like I knew. And maybe not new is not the right word, but I was hoping low key that Bronson got his moment. Based off of last time they was in Perth and he wasn't even on the card. I was like, it would be dope to see Bronson get his moment, man. I feel like he deserves it. I really did. And so it was dope to see him actually get that win, regardless. And then, you know what I'm saying, like the story that's going on with the bloodline right now is dope. And it's dope because of everything else that's going on, which we're going to talk about later. We truly don't know what's about to happen, but they have a plot in regards to this bloodline. And it's like we can make all the guesses that we want, but it's like we got to sit back and see how this unveils. And we know they got something special cooking, you know what I mean? So this story is about to get even more dope. But match overall, though, I mean, it did its job. I don't think it was a special match to say the least. It was better than the last one they had. I think the last one was at Clash of Paris or something like that. It was better than the match at Clash of Paris, but at the end of the day, it in my opinion, it just did its job and it wasn't special. You know what I mean? So what do you guys think of the match, though?
I mean, I liked it. I didn't expect that ending, though. I'll tell you, the ending is what threw me off. I expected the match to go the way it did, but I didn't expect the miscue between Jay to cost the match.
I thought Jimmy was going to cost him the match. I didn't think Jay was going to be the one.
I didn't think so. I thought it was going to be Bronson. I mean, I thought Bron Breakker was going to come and something was going to happen with there. I thought those sort of shenanigans was going to happen, but I didn't see the rift happening.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I mean, Roman ain't spilling no damn blood unless he got to. He ain't about to go to war in no damn street fight. That boy too big. You know what I mean? And putting to work too long, pause, to really be out there doing some wild shit in the street fight. So I wasn't expecting anything really outlandish from him. I thought that made sense with how it ended and how he lost, based on like how the story has been telling, with Jay trying to fill those shoes of Roman. And in the midst of that, he's going to fall on his face, trying to emulate that, knowing that's not what he needs to be doing. He just needs to be him. And that's part of his storyline. I feel like that's like the underlying message of what he's dealing with. But I mean, for what it's worth, it was a good match, entertaining. But other than that, just moving the story along as far as what's going to happen with War Games and stuff, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, this story is about to be dope, man. And I just hope that on the other side of it, I hope that Jimmy is the one that gets to, like, when this is over and Jey Uso, the way he got his payoff, I hope Jimmy gets his. We understand that at some point Jimmy's gonna have to take some time off. You know what I mean? But when
that boy got to pray the wife out.
And I forgot to say this in regards to that last match. The whole time watching this match, though, all I could think about was, and don't get me wrong, it's not to say that I wish it didn't happen, anything like that. I'm very happy for them. I really am, because I know their story. And if you know the story, you're happy.
If Naomi was here.
Yeah, that would have been Naomi.
High-ass stories going on right now.
Yes, and we know it would have been Naomi versus Tiffany. You know what I'm saying? And Naomi would have finally got her revenge against Tiffany for all the times that Tiffany tried to hold her back. So that's the whole time I kept thinking watching this match, like, dang, man, it should have been Tiff, man. But I mean, it should have been Naomi. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, still happy for her, man. All right, and then so we ain't got to spend much time on the tag. We ain't gotta spend much time on the tag match. We don't. The only thing I say about the tag match is that it served its purpose, but I think the storyline right now between Asuka and Kyrie, I think is very dope. Like Asuka turning into the bully, the scary bully or whatnot. I think it's very dope, man. What you think?
I like the story.
Okay.
But what I don't like, it just plays on tropes. Like, if one thing's for sure, two things for certain, WWE is going to run a fucking racist trope, underlying, subliminal. They can get away with that shit. All right. Like, all that, how they got Asuka performing, all crazy, talking Japanese and stuff, like angry, like it's some fucking anime or some shit. And Kyrie
Yeah.
is over there, like, overly expressive with her, emoting. Like, bro, man. Hey, I want you to clip in this part, man. This is like on some Kung Fu Funaki shit.
I
This
got
is
you.
what this is. Google, look up Kung Fu Funaki.
That's a good callback, Willie. Kung Fu
Hey, look up Kung Fu
That's a
Funaki,
good
bro.
Number
call,
one SmackDown announcer.
Come on, sir. Like,
That's a good
it's
one.
like I like it, but then I don't like it for the fact of that's what it's playing on.
Yeah.
And I get it. You know what I mean? Because all it's going to turn around to Kyrie getting her voice and her confidence and going away from Io. I mean, Asuka. But it's like, I like it, but then it's like, all right, man, I get this, but it works. Again, Asuka just yelling all crazy in Japanese before Kyrie was even there, she was doing that and people were liking it. So it's like, I don't know.
That's a fair point. I ain't think about it like that. That's a good point. That's a good point. It's a good
I don't mean
point.
to be the woke bros, but damn.
Nah, man, nah, I get it. I get it. I get it. Next, let's talk about my opinion. I'm not arguing with anybody who thinks differently. In my opinion, though,
But if
the
you about to
best
say that AJ John Cena match was ass, we about to fight.
No.
Okay. I don't know. I was waiting where you was going with this.
Absolutely. You know what? I would say it like this. I say it like this. I enjoy Seth versus Cody more because, and it's probably because I was more invested in that match. Like, if you've been following this podcast, you know how I felt over these years about Cody Rhodes beating Seth Rollins 3 straight times. Like that
one of them was with one arm.
Right, and one of them was one arm. That has bothered me as a wrestling fan so much, and as a fan of both, and especially as a fan of Seth. I'm a fan of Seth. And I was invested in that match. Like I was locked in. Like, yo, if Cody beats this man one more time, dog, I'm gonna be so mad. And I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the payoff. I enjoyed the way it went. I thought it was a classic. I'm not sure if it was better than their WrestleMania 38 match, but I think it was better than the other two. I think it's probably like their second best match, in my opinion. But I gave the match an A. That's just me. I thought it was great. I thought the way Seth won and Tyra in the storyline with the Watts. I mean, obviously, for anybody who wants to be super realistic, obviously a Watts is not gonna knock you out. But still, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, tying in the Watts into the storyline, I thought it was dope. The storyline of Seth got to do this by himself, and he had no help of any kind. I hate the fact he did that move, but we'll talk about it later. But yeah, what did you guys think of the match?
To the main event?
Yeah, the main event. Yeah, we say
excellent match.
Yeah.
Very good match. When I think about pro wrestling.
Be right back. Go ahead and listen up.
Yeah, when I think about pro wrestling, right? This is what I think about. You put the best currently versus the best currently in the ring and let them have a match, right? And let them just go ahead and do their thing. What they got, maybe about 20, 25 minutes in that match? Maybe 30, I think. And let's just have a match. Let's work through the emotions. We're going to have our ups, our downs. Let's go through the psychology. Let's play with all the emotions of wrestling right now, right? And they did that. Like with the emotions tied into Seth got to do it by himself, saying that, no, there's no way Cody can beat him again, right? There's no way. Like, it makes no sense. Seth has to win, even though we know it's quote unquote fake, right?
Right.
Seth, we're all like, Seth has to win this match. Like, there's no, like, even we know the outcome is already determined who's winning. Seth has to win. And everybody felt like you was like, Dent said he'll be pissed. I'll be like, damn, though, they let this man beat Cody again? Like, they let this man beat Seth again? Like, come on. Where are we going with this? Eventually, Seth has to get some sort of get back.
My thing with it is, like, I'm glad Steph won as it should have happened. But again, like, Steph, unfortunately, when it comes to Cody Rhodes, still has smut on his name.
Steph do something, right?
It's not going away until Steph kills that man in a match. Like, it is so obvious. Like, it's got to be some like Brock Lesnar shit, in my opinion.
Yeah, I have to squash you. Like, I have to.
No matter what happens, dog, I beat you with one arm. You ain't coming back from that. I don't care if you beat me clean, dog. I beat you with one arm, let alone nobody even interfere in that match because it was a Hell in a Cell match.
It was Hell in a Cell.
You know what I mean? And I beat you. One arm. Yeah, with one arm, dog. I had half a titty, man. Like,
every time I think about it, I get so mad. I get so mad.
You just beat me, let alone, and it's not even you beat me clean for real. Like, when you really think about it, you had to use a watch to beat me. So again, it's like, I'm happy he got the win, but it does nothing, in my opinion, to prop up Seth Rollins. I think he still took an L, so to speak, in this match, regardless of him winning the outcome. But great match all around at the end of the day. Great match.
I like the ending simply because, like, it gives him a reason to run it back. You know what I'm saying? A justified reason to run it back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cody talking trash, exactly what you just said. Like, hey, I mean, you couldn't even beat me clean. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You had to use a watch or whatever. So it gives him a reason to run it back for sure. I mean, I think it was an A. And then last, I purposely say this for last, man, the match that everybody.
You know it's not going to happen, though, because Seth is definitely about to go face. There's no other place for him to go now.
Does he? Like,
hold on, we're gonna talk about that. Hold on, save that. We gonna talk about that. Last match though, the match everybody been talking about all weekend, Cena versus AJ. I'm gonna let y'all go first.
Hey man, if you're gonna do me like this with Cena and AJ, man, just give me fucking Cena and Edge for that last match, man. I'll be the happiest motherfucker on this planet, dog. If you give me this kind of shit for them two. If you want, which is arguably Cena's greatest rival, Edge, like, give me that. Give me that. If this is what you're pitting on, I need something like that. But I need an Edge that's going to actually put on a good match, though. Yeah, I know it's not, but I would need an Edge that's going to put on a good match.
All right. So Shaq, I am for the record, I'm with you. I don't think it's a chance it's happening, but let's just throw this out there, right? Scenario: John Cena goes to Triple H and whoever, and be like, "Look, I understand this normally doesn't happen. I've given everything I've have to this company, like everything. I would really appreciate it while he's a free agent right now. If we just sign Edge, hold on. Let me finish. We just sign Edge to a one match contract, just for one night only. You know what I'm saying? Where I can have this final match with Edge. You know what I'm saying? It's my biggest rival.
He done got R-Truth back hired. I mean, shit.
I mean, do you what's the? I just want to know what's the, based on that scenario I just gave you, what percentage do you give that Ashley of them saying yes, we'll do it?
It's not about Triple H saying yes. Triple H is going to have to do this.
No, that's what I said. Them.
Hey, yo, Tony.
Hey, Tony is Trips. Could we possibly borrow Edge for one night? And Tony's gonna say, "Up my dick," and hang up the phone. Hang up the phone.
But to counter that real quick,
he's still under
contract. Hold on. He's still under contract till next year. Yeah.
To counter that, yeah, the rumor is he's still under contract if you add an injury time and stuff. So like that's the thing. Like no one knows what that is, even if injury time was added. So the thing is, like, he might have signed a 1 or 2 year deal with AEW, and around the end of this year, if I think no injury time was added, it would be like the end of that contract. But the thing is that this is why I think it is potentially possible, like a 1% chance, is because who was it that passed in WWE? It might have been Brody Lee.
It was Brody Lee,
and they did some stuff as far as a tribute where AEW wrestlers appeared on tributes and stuff, and vice versa. So there is a potential, I feel like, for something like that, but it's really just got to be the time has got to be right. The right people got to be there to talk about it. But I don't think that's happening right now.
So what I say to that, right? I thought of this scenario too, right? It's a good conversation to have. Number one, I don't think Tony's going to do it because WWE has already been spiteful trying to hold shows on the same time as them,
why do I
take away the
crowd?
crowd, like being very spiteful, right? So what So Tony's gonna be like, nah, forget all that. Sure.
For
But
the love of
I'll
the
say,
game.
let's even say they do it, right?
Right,
Sure.
for the love of
I'll let
wrestling.
you hold, man, fuck that. I'll let you borrow Edge for the night, right? But I'm gonna need something in
Yeah,
return.
that's the only way it makes sense. Like,
Right. I'm gonna need something in return. Let's just say I need you to send somebody over. I'm gonna need you to send somebody over to AEW for one match. The thing
So
about that,
look,
like, who could they send that could make sense? That'd be a big enough name that it makes sense. That it makes sense for AEW to send over there for a match. Like, send an Edge makes sense, right? And that's a huge name. What could they do that in return to go the other way?
so look, here's what you're saying makes total sense. First of all, I will say this: like, from everything that I saw, everything that I've read, it was that Ed's contract was up in like at the end of this month. That's what I was originally going off of. I didn't know they was adding, saying injury time and stuff
Almost
like
that
that.
injury time, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what the base. That's why I said in the question, like he was a free agent. But I will say this though. I think I don't get the impression, like you talking as if Tony is like Dana White. Like Dana White this would not happen at all. 0%, zero, beneath zero if this was like a Dana White type of person. Tony, and I mean this in no disrespect, but Tony come off as kind of a pushover. You know what I'm saying? And he come off and not even 100% pushover, but he come off as kind of like an easygoing guy that just loves wrestling, right? So if Edge comes up to him himself and like, look, like I get it, I do want this to happen. What is the chances happening? I don't see him being bullish with this. If this was Vince, if this was Triple H, if this was a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? I would say zero, but I'm with Willie. I think the 1% chance is because of the personality of Tony Khan. Like it almost, I hate to say it like this, but it always it's really like you is with Triple H, and this would not happen. But with me, I'm kind of a gullible person. You know what I'm saying? If Edge came up to me, I would be like, man, this ain't good for business. They've been spiteful, bro. No, then come on, bro. Like, for the love of wrestling, bro. And what would I say, Shaq? What would I
You would
do?
say, absolutely. Let's talk. Touch Triple H and call me. Let's
So
pick right up.
I is that kind of person, and that's where the 1% chance lies. But the match itself, though, what did y'all think about the match itself? Do y'all think this was the best match? No, the best match between AJ and John. I personally don't, but I want to see what y'all say.
Close to it.
Second.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think second is very respectful.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I think this goes right in between. I'll still have the Royal Rumble match one, this one, and then SummerSlam.
Then SummerSlam. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. It's still an A match, though.
That match is why I love professional wrestling, right there, ladies and gentlemen. Like, even if you're not fully invested, if you're like a casual fan, like you can't watch that match and be like, damn, this is amazing. Like this is amazing. This is some incredible shit I'm watching right now. Like, and you could tell they were calling the match just on the cuff. They were just like, well, let's do this. Let's do this. And proof was the 619 spot when the crowd started chanting 619 and they actually faked the 619 spot. And those two are so good. I actually went back to try to see when the hell did they call that? Because it was a double down. They were both down. And I'm looking like, damn, would they talk? Would they have to yell that? Because they didn't actually come close enough to call that spot. I'm looking like, this is amazing wrestling. This is what I love professional wrestling for, ladies and gentlemen. That match right there. And I love AJ coming out in the old tights and the TNA tights, the TNA outfit.
It was beautiful.
John Cena giving him his own intro. And you could tell AJ knew nothing about it because he was laughing the whole time and trying not to break. Beautiful, guys. A+ match. A+.
To the point we're trying to talk about, Shaq, about if anyone who can get Edge over there for one match, I think Cena's the one. Cena's the one who can get away with breaking some of them rules.
But also, I don't think Tony's a pushover. I think Tony's kind of a prick, actually. Well, most rich people are pricks. And Tony's very rich, extremely rich. I think he'll like, no, I don't see the benefit. So what? I love professional wrestling.
And like
so
business wise, I would say no.
Yeah,
also.
like, so what? I love
much as I love
wrestling. So
yeah,
what?
like
But no,
nah. They done played in my face way too many times for that.
Yeah, this does me no benefit. Yeah. Besides some money, like, sure, we'll pay his fee and give you this right here, blah, blah, blah. But other than that, no benefit for me whatsoever.
It was a beautiful match, man. Beautiful tributes.
It doesn't hurt him either, though. Really,
You
It
said what?
really doesn't.
It doesn't hurt him either, though.
It doesn't hurt nobody. I don't see a scenario where
It
it
really
hurts
doesn't.
anybody.
Edge is already an established name, and
Right. It doesn't hurt, but it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt him at all, right? He'll get credit. Oh, Tony.
But if I can control this shit for
Yeah.
John Cena's last match, nah, fuck that. Like, that's the other side of it. I
Yeah.
don't want to make WWE any better than it already is.
The viewership for this event is going to be through the roof regardless because it's John Cena's last match. So you're not punishing WWE by not having Edge because they can have literally it's a bunch of names that flew out of there. They said before the injury, which we're going to talk about in a second, Seth Rollins was one of the people who more than likely was going to be his last opponent. Is Gunther's name been thrown out there as a possible last opponent? We don't know
I hope they do that tournament that they're rumored to do.
They're talking about doing a tournament. Like
that would be the best thing to do.
It's gonna be locked in regardless, man. But here, before we move on and talk about this injury and everything like that, I'm gonna ask you guys real quick to rank these 4 matches from John Cena's retirement tours. John Cena versus AJ at Perth this past weekend. John Cena versus Cody at SummerSlam. John Cena versus Sami Zayn in Chicago. Yeah, that was in Chicago. Yeah, for the U.S. title, and then John Cena versus Logan Paul at Clash in Paris. Rank those 4 matches real quick.
Just again, I'm sorry.
You good? John Cena versus AJ from Perth this past weekend. John Cena versus Cody at SummerSlam. John Cena versus Sami Zayn in Chicago, and then John Cena versus Logan Paul at Clash in Paris.
Logan is last.
Yeah,
AJ is first.
I think I might.
Sammy is 2, and then Cody is 3.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna keep it in the order you named it.
Okay. All right. Cool. I actually, contrary to belief, I'm gonna put Cody and John 1, and the reason being is because like that match set the stage for everything that's happened up until from like to this point. Like that match solidified why, in my opinion, why John Cena should have turned back face and should have never turned heel. If we with the caveat that The Rock wasn't gonna give us a payoff. I don't know if y'all saw the I forgot the name of the podcast with the Kelsey boys, but The Rock jokefully threw his name out there. I'm like, Rock, stop playing with us at this point, bro. Like we know you're not gonna be his last opponent. Like, stop doing that to us, dog. But that match, like, that match justified because the night before on SmackDown, Cena turned face. And we all was like, all right, this was all for nothing. And then they have that killer match, and it's like, you know what? If this is the product that he's going to continue to give us as a face, it's justified. So for that purpose alone, the other matches might be better, but the significance of that match is why I got Cody and Cena on, and then I would have AJ, Cena 2. What honestly might be the best pure wrestling match out of these 4 though is John Cena and Sami Zayn on that SmackDown. That match was fire, but I'm gonna put it 3. I'm gonna put it 3, and then we all got Cena without question. Cena, even though it was a good match, Cena versus Logan was 4.
Logan Paul put on. I agree.
Yeah, he put on. So it's not a knock against Logan, but compared to those other 3, now I'll have it last. All right, so let's get into it. So last thing to talk about. So during the Seth and Cody match, for those of you that's not aware, Seth attempted the coast to coast headbutt. He landed on his shoulder, kind of rough, and rumor is that he was injured in this match. Now we all are throwing up the allegedly sign because of how Seth duped us with the last injury or whatnot, right? So and this is a real story that came out. Like, a lot of people in WWE don't even know what to believe because they don't know if this is a hoax, or they don't know because he sold the last one so well. They don't know if this is a hoax or if this is a real thing. But they're saying that Seth is scheduled to have surgery soon. That's the rumor right now, nothing confirmed. But it looks like he dislocated either his shoulder or he did something to his rotator cuff. That's the rumor. All right. He wasn't seen in a sling after the match and the next day or whatnot. So
Peep the trouble on Raw. See how he ain't moved that arm.
He ain't moved that arm at all. I actually think it's true. And if you go back and look at the way he landed on that shoulder,
he started holding
and
it instantly afterwards.
instantly, and was talking to the ref and stuff like that. Now, granted, yes, he was talking to the ref when he allegedly hurt his knee against LA Knight. So I would get why people would still be skeptical, but this one just looked a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could clearly see like that shoulder landed awkwardly. But the shocker happened last night. They pulled the trigger. We knew it was going to happen, but it happened way earlier than people expected. The vision officially turned on Seth. Bronson spears Seth. Bron Breakker spears Seth. Bron gives Bronson the ultimatum, like, either you with me or you're not. Like, make a choice. Bronson makes his choice. Tsunami Seth, and then Paul with no other choice.
Saved his life. He was like, "How about you guys? How
I'm
about
with
you?"
y'all. I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all. So first thing, but first, in regards to it, my question for you guys is this: if you all had to put, at most, we're gonna give this group 5 members. At most. It doesn't have to be 5, but at most I would give you 5. If you had to put some other wrestlers along with, still have the vision, but Braun be the leader now with Bronson, and you get them some other wrestlers to go in this group, who else would you put with them?
Mellow.
Okay. Anybody else, or just Mello? I'm gonna give you up to 5 people. It don't have to be 5, but I'm gonna give you up to 5 people. The group in total to be 5, not 5 more people, but you get what I'm saying. The group in total 5.
So 3 more or 2 more if you're including Fall.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, you don't have to. You can get them 5 and then Paul be the 6. Kind of like how it was with the Bloodline.
Trying to think of a young tag team or something. They need a tag team for their crew. Can't just have all these solo acts and then you just partner them up like you had Bron and Bron
Yeah, I agree.
together. But that's where I'm stuck at. I don't know many. I don't think
Yeah.
a young tag team that would make
You
sense.
know what's crazy?
Maybe the
Mello.
Creed brothers, but
Yeah, the Creed brothers, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they still, because I think Chad comes back soon. I think Chad, based on his original timetable to come back, I think he's due to come back soon. So I think they keep that together. But I mean, I'm with you. I think so. I immediately was like, I'm with Shaq. I would say Mello. Either, I mean, if Grayson wasn't with this New Day storyline, he would be it. But since he
Well, you
is,
know what? It might be Austin. It might be
Austin
Creed.
Theory.
Out there, I said Creed.
And
Austin Theory.
the rumor was, before Seth's injury, that Austin Theory was scheduled to join Division, but they scrapped that once, since Seth. But I would,
them to be like a new school crew and
That's why I
Yeah.
said try to get the.
War Games, old school versus the future.
Yeah.
That's
right.
why if the vision makes it make it young, but the young stars. Yeah.
I'm gonna take Mello out simply because I think Mello deserves his own run without a group.
I don't think it makes sense, man.
Yeah.
He lost to Braun, and now he's going to be
Right.
one of Braun's lackeys.
Yeah.
That doesn't go with
exactly.
his character being him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just don't make sense.
Creed lost the set, didn't he? And then came and joined them.
Nah, he killed Seth though before
Yeah.
all that. He put that man in a pack.
Right.
He gave that nigga like 80 tsunami bombs, bro.
Right. Me personally, I would do Austin Theory and DIY for the tag team. I would put DIY for the tag team.
Young, though.
They
They
are.
not
That's the only downside.
they not young, but they've never like taken that next step on the main roster to become like solidified in the story. You
Never
give
really
them
got
like
their shot of respect.
exactly.
For real. They lost. Remember, didn't they lose their belts or when we were at SummerSlam?
And
Or did they?
in Johnny Gargano's hometown, they lost the belts.
They lost the belts that night on SmackDown or whatever.
And you called it too, and I was like, "There's no way Johnny is losing in Cleveland." And sure enough, he lost. So they not young, but at the same, they not young, but at the same time, they're young enough to still be the future. You know what I'm saying? In some aspect, you know what I mean? Like they never, like Willie said, they never got their full shot. So I would do Austin, and I would throw DIY in there personally. You know what I'm saying? So
even though they're an old team, I'd be cool with the Motor City Machine Guns for real.
be cool with that.
I think they'd be a nice team in there. Haven't really seen them a whole lot. Make them turn heel because they've been face the whole time. I think that'd be dope.
Another idea would be a heel Montez Ford. Montez turned on D'Angelo. I said D'Angelo. Montez turned on Angelo Dalt and joins Division that way. That would be something that people would see, like him turning, but not turning to join the division. You know what I'm saying?
If that was a work, I'd want something like he ends up being the guy, like how Bron was like the Batista in that group before, like, you know what I mean? He's like, nah, I'm done with all this. It's my show now.
Yeah.
Maybe that would work with Tez there. Because again, like I use the same reason for Carmelo. It just doesn't make sense for his character and his personality to
I see
be,
that.
you know what I mean, to be a lackey for another
Yeah.
faction.
Yeah. That and that's
Theory, it
and
makes sense. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Makes perfect
And
sense how his character has been.
And low key, Willie, to your point, that's what I hope happens with Braun and Bronson. I'm cool with them, you know what I'm saying, doing their thing, but I hope it's not a situation where Braun is giving Bronson orders, because that's just not realistic. Like, Bronson ain't no lackey. He did it with Seth because Seth was the established top dog, but they both on a trajectory. At the end of the day, Bronson is the one who beat Roman, not Braun. You know what I'm saying? So like, we can't have the storyline of Bronson just being his lackey. Like, Braun can be a leader, but at the same time, like, Bronson is not his lackey. Like, you know what I'm saying? They got to be looked at as equals, kind of like what Jay was saying to Roman. You know what I mean?
I
So
am looking forward though to the eventual clash between Bron Breakker and Brock Lesnar. You know, it's got to happen.
what
I enjoyed
happens?
that.
And that's the million
Remember
dollar
when they saw? Remember
question.
when they crossed paths when
Yeah,
Bron and when Brock and Paul shook hands, and Bron
yeah,
was looking at that man wanting all the smoke.
yeah. All the
They
smoke,
sowed that seed right there. I was, oh yeah, oh yeah. I don't
all
know how
the
it's gonna happen,
smoke.
but now I see it.
Yeah, and like, that's the million dollar question, because like, what happens now? Like, if Seth is legit injured, just to give y'all, just to paint a picture for everybody else, right? If what they're saying is 100% true, which I personally believe it is, Seth would have like a either damage to his rotator cuff, but he needs shoulder surgery. The typical recovery time for shoulder surgery is typically 3 to 6 months, but it could take up to a year depending on the damage. Like, this is not a surgery where he's going to be back in like a couple months. No, it could be 3 to 6 months. And if you're counting your math, 6 months is past WrestleMania. He would have to be fully recovered in 4 months to even be able to make WrestleMania. So that means that it's already been confirmed, like, the main event for one of those nights, locked in and penciled in already, was definitely Seth versus Roman. That means that's done. That means that this match that he's was supposed to have at Saturday night's main event with CM Punk, that's done. You know what I'm saying? It means that he's probably going to have to relinquish the world heavyweight title because he's not going to be able to defend it. That's done. What we predicted at War Games to happen, Division and two other members, probably Austin Theory and somebody else versus Roman and CM Punk and whoever else they had, that's done. You know what I'm saying? So like, the million dollar question now is, with all these scenarios etched out because they put everything into Seth Rollins and now he's hurt. What in the world
Is
is
he?
about to happen next?
Is he?
I
He's
I
hurt, but I don't think it's
I,
as
I think
serious. Like I think he'll be back
Is
by
he?
like January
After
ish, maybe at the
after that
latest.
last performance, I don't know. I don't know. I
No, I
can't.
mean, that's 100% fair. I will say this though: reports came out that if he does have shoulder surgery, then they scrapping the main event that they originally had planned for Seth versus Roman. They're scrapping that.
The only reason why I think it might be true, I don't think they'll go to the well twice with a fake injury so
Right.
soon.
Yeah.
Especially at
They describe that. The way he sold that knee, and I'm just recovering from the same injury. I said, yeah,
yeah.
shit look just. I said that shit look just like how it happened to me. How I just fell and I just dropped just like that, and it looked the same way.
It did
So,
it for me. This is, I mean, and I, once again, I get it what you're saying 110%. For me, I had a feeling that we was getting duped for that knee. I it just
I'm not. Am I the athlete that said this?
yeah,
Absolutely not. I'm not saying that. But when I said it was instantaneous. He hit the ground like I hit the ground, landed,
yeah.
and grabbed my knee. It was instant. Like there was no, and I was like, oh shit.
For me though, it wasn't like he sold his knee in the past. Like, the way when he really hurt his knee in that not independent, the house show And when he hurt it, the one where we didn't know if he was gonna make WrestleMania 33.
Real injury, you know when someone's really hurt
Yeah,
themselves. Like
he
the LA joint, it was overly exaggerated.
It was overly exaggerated, you know what I'm saying? And like, and in my opinion, Paul ain't do a good job of selling it at the time. So it was like, this don't seem right. Based on, and once again, I think it's true based on reports of how negative creative, because to their point, they were saying that the creative team based everything on factual information. So the fact that they were even left out of the picture, like, had them frustrated. So now the reports are they don't even know what to think or believe, and they don't know what to pencil in next because they don't know if it's a situation where Seth is really hurt. You know what I'm saying? I think it's true. I really do. But if for anybody who's skeptical, I understand that too. But with that being said, like, if he, I say this for the record, I do hope it's not true because we've been due Seth versus Roman for a very long time. We've been due Seth versus Roman at WrestleMania more than we've been due Rock versus Roman. For Seth and Roman to have as big a rivalry as they have, and there's never had a WrestleMania payoff, has been a travesty. So I do hope it's not true. I hope he's okay. But in the instance that it is true, what happens next? And I think the answer is I have no clue. I have no clue what they do
Next
next.
for Seth?
In general, like what happens next for the World Heavyweight title? What happens next for War Games? What happens next for WrestleMania? Like, this is so big of an injury that who you have probably winning the Royal Rumble might change. Because I think all three of us had our Royal Rumble winner based on what was going to happen with Cody. But let's say they change that now and they base the Royal Rumble on what's going to happen with the World Heavyweight title. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that's happened next is about to change. So do y'all?
I wouldn't be surprised if they do something a la how they just did with Stephanie Baker or fucking push Braun to the fucking moon right now. Ride the hot hand when you really think about it on the Raw side. You do have Gunther coming back, so you have that option as well available.
Yeah.
Again, I think there's enough irons potentially in the fire to keep some good quality stories going with the World Heavyweight title, I believe.
Yeah.
Whether that's with Seth relinquishing it and Braun being, I want that now, because my time is now, and dealing.
Push us to Braun versus Punk because Punk's the #1 contender.
Right.
Dude, does LA Knight finally get his opportunity? You know what I'm saying? Or the World Heavyweight title reign? Do they finally pull that trigger?
I think there's plenty of stuff out there to keep that title dangling, you know what I mean? As something that everybody wants.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the one person I believe who on the main roster that came over from NXT who Gunther has not beaten, I think is Braun. I know Braun owns a victory over him. I don't think Gunther has beaten Braun. I could be wrong about that. Willie, you might have to check. Yeah. Braun beat Gunther. I want to say it was in NXT. It wasn't on the main roster. It was in NXT.
Oh yeah, they did an NXT title match. Who has defeated Gunther? Yeah, Gunther has been defeated by 5 different stars: Drew McIntyre, Ilya Dragunov, Bron Breakker, Chad Gable, Sami Zayn. You can add Jey Uso to that list also.
When did Drew beat Gunther?
Let me see.
I can't.
Survivor Series 2019. I think that was the NXT versus Survivor Series. Was that one? Let me see.
Okay,
that
that might have been. Hold on, I thought Adam Cole was the champ for that. I'm gonna have to go back. I didn't know Drew beat Gunther. I knew Gunther beat Drew at SummerSlam, and I knew Gunther beat Drew in that triple threat match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, Adam Cole fought Pete Dunne in that.
Okay, I know. Yeah, I don't think, and yeah, I think Gunther's the one person that Braun has. I mean that I think Braun is the one person Gunther hasn't beat. You know what I'm saying? So that's the storyline to run with right there. So it's a lot of different ways they can go with this. The good thing is it is on Raw, and then once again you got to factor Roman Reigns into that picture because once again he was locked in. Whether he was going to win the Royal Rumble or the Chamber, we don't know, but he was locked in to have that match with Seth. So what did they do with him? Because we know Roman's going to be in the main event.
So they were in that. My bad for interrupting. They were in that Survivor Series match, and Drew pinned Walter at the time.
Yeah.
Walter.
Yeah, in that one.
Now the time has passed, by the way. I like Gunther better than Walter. That's just me.
Bron beat him on a episode of NXT in 2022.
Yeah, I think that was it. I think that was the same. That I might be wrong, but I think that was the same episode that Paul Heyman accompanied Braun to the ring. That might have been the same episode. So yeah, man, it's a lot. It's a lot of different ways they can go with this, man. It's a dope. Dope time to be a wrestling fan right now because we have no idea where these stories are going,
The best
man.
time when we have no idea what's happening. It's the best time.
Yeah, definitely. So returns on the horizon. So Shaq, you got anything for us tonight? I know we didn't do anything last week.
Yeah, I got one. To all my people that love and still watch wrestling, welcome to This or That Either Or segment of the show where I come up with a wrestling-based scenario, question, or fantasy book for the fellas, for the fellas, and we just kick it and see what they say now. Coming off of the Bound for Glory pay-per-view, like we mentioned earlier, we did just see the retirement of the Dudley Boys. So, what I'm asking the fellas tonight and you all in the comments to wrestling fans, what is your Mount Rushmore for tag teams? Now, I'm almost certain all three of them, we're going to have three of the same. I'm almost certain. I'm like
Are
90%
we?
certain. I'm like 90% certain we're going to have three the
All
same, right? At least two, right? Two.
right.
We're going to have two the
Yeah,
same, right?
I could accept two possibly.
I will have two. I
I'm
want to
not.
say three. We're gonna have two, and I can
I
almost
don't think we
guarantee
are. I think we'll have
if we
two
were to
maybe.
have three the same. I'd
I
be like this.
think
If we're gonna have three the same, I think I know what Dent's fourth would be. I'm almost certain I can know what Dent's fourth is. Almost certain I know what Dent's fourth would be. Really, and I think me and you might have the same one as well for
All right.
the fourth.
Let's hear it. Let's hear who you're for.
you and Willie got a better chance than.
I think me and Willie, but I'm almost certain I know what your fourth is. So
Okay.
you know, you get 4 spots in Mount Rushmore. What is your Mount Rushmore for tag teams?
All right, so first and foremost, the tag team that I was a fan of more than any wrestler at the time, in all honesty, you know what I'm saying? I grew up an LOD fan. Legion of Doom got to be on my Mount Rushmore for sure. I'm going to go ahead and jump to this era, who I think now is the greatest tag team of all time. BUIs in the way. Usos will be on my Mount Rushmore. I think I gotta put, because of what they did in different locations and different brands in their prime, I gotta put the Dudleys in there. Dudleys will be on my Mount Rushmore. And then that fourth spot gets tricky because Mount Rushmore is about like importance. It's not necessarily your favorite, who you think is the best is, but their importance and their relevance and stuff like that. I'm between the New Day and the Hardys, and I'm also between the Young Bucks. And I think for that fourth spot, I'm gonna put the Young Bucks in there at that fourth spot. I think the Young Bucks, man, it's never gonna happen, but I would love for them to be in WWE. That's the one, or more than any superstar, more than any tag team. If I had one draft pick to come over to WWE, it would be the Young Bucks, because I think the Young Bucks, like, I think they're so legendary that they deserve to be on every stage. Like, the facts is like, y'all had to convince me to watch other promotions at one point. I wasn't into it. I was WWE 100%. And you have a lot of people that still, and I'm glad y'all convinced me for the record, but you have a lot of people that's like me, that's still to this day, like, just locked in on one thing, WWE. And they'll never get to see the greatness of the Young Bucks. And the Young Bucks is one of the most innovative tag teams you'll ever see in your life in every aspect, from every type of match you have.
Wow, Dad. That's a grown response right there, brother. Proud of you.
What the fuck is
I mean, if you just being honest, like from any type of match you want to put them in, whether it's a regular not 1-on-1, but a regular tag match, tornado tag, hardcore match, death match, cage match, whatever type of match you want to put them in. Not only do they steal the show, but they come up with something every time that we haven't seen, from spikes being on sneakers to, you know what I'm saying, them doing flips into tables or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They can have your technical matches, they can have your flips matches, whatever you want. There's no tag team in the history of professional wrestling that's been more versatile than the Young Bucks. So that fourth slot is definitely going to go to the Young Bucks for me.
For the record, I'm not going to say which one. We had three of the same. We were one off, and that one that you had shocked me.
What?
I thought you were gonna go completely different way, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna tell you later. I'm gonna wait. I don't want to influence what I'm willing to say is.
Nah, you ain't gonna influence me. I'll
No,
say that
go
right
ahead,
now. I
brother.
know
Go
you're
ahead,
not.
brother. I'll say it at the end. I'll say it at the
All
end.
right, so I'm gonna lock in the Dudleys, and like that's automatic lock. And then the next three is just really gonna depend on how I'm fucking feeling. Like because like I think about Edge and Christian, right? But yet I like them more as solo people. Like
So to pick, they weren't even tag. They weren't a tag team that long.
right. And that's always my gripe with them. Like they were more, from in my opinion, they're remembered more as solo acts than they were as a tag team, in my opinion.
It hurt to leave the Hardys off my list, though. I will say that.
And it's just hard. It's really hard to not include certain, like you have to leave somebody off, and it's fucking sucks. And it's like I'm saying right now, before I'm gonna put a black tag team on my Mount Rushmore. Ain't no way I'm not gonna do that. Like I'm telling you that right now. I'm not gonna say who yet because I'm on the fence, and I don't know. But the Dudleys, the Young Bucks, I am going to add on there. That's where I will agree with you, Dan. The Young
Well,
Bucks.
Willie, that was our one. When I was like, I know me and you probably have the last one correct.
Like
that
the
was
Young
my
Bucks,
fourth, and I'm shocked that all three of us have them on the list. Okay, there we go.
But no,
That's
when you really
progress.
think about your Mount Rushmore, and like since you use this as a question, I don't know if you got this from that whole clip of the Twitch CEO talking. So I'll preface that. So the Twitch CEO was talking to a group of podcasters or whatever about who's the Mount Rushmore of Twitch, right? And he was talking about, most of us as black people know who Kai Cenat is and Speed is, and how, they're two of the biggest streamers in the fucking world. And he was saying how he wasn't going to put them on there based on what Mount Rushmore really is when you think about it, and not just talking about who are the hot ones right now who've been doing it for like a 3 or 4 year time span, but throughout the history of Twitch. And then I'm going to go even further. When you look at even the real Mount Rushmore, it's not just it's all old people to us now, obviously, but they're from different time frames where you got your Thomas Jefferson, your Roosevelt, your Lincoln, whatever have you. And they're impacting the progression of the country. And we're not going to get into how countries progress. That's a political comment story. We can do that another day.
Yeah, we are a wrestling podcast.
Yeah, we are a wrestling podcast. But talking about, when you talk about your Mount Rushmore, how it should focus on the past, the present, like those people who have progressively impacted tag team wrestling, what we're talking about. So the Dudleys are going to be up there. The Young Bucks are going to be up there. And this is where we get into the mix of things if we're talking about, because I think for my kind of like current and leading us to the future, the Young Bucks are, in my opinion, replacing New Day and the Usos, in my opinion. They are that group. Harlem Heat or the Gangsters? New Jack and Mustafa.
Gangster.
Bruh. Nigga, I'll go even hard. Men on a Mission, MOM. Who remember that? Mabel. Come on, dog. Hey, bro, when you was a little kid, you ain't seen many black, but before Harlem Heat was even on TV, you ain't seen many black wrestlers. Like,
Mabel is the only version.
Bruh. I like them as back then.
Yeah,
Again, albeit they didn't.
Go ahead. This is your Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, this is my Mount Rushmore, but they ain't no impact like that.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna put Harlem Heat over the Gangsters just for their impact on black wrestling. You cannot acknowledge black wrestling without commenting Booker T and Stevie Ray. Really can't comment on black wrestling if you not at least mentioning New Jack Nutass. Like them two tag teams. When I saw them, mind blown. So I'm gonna go Harlem Heat for my third. My fourth. This is a hard one. Pause. My God. Y'all spare me today. Thank you. I said some questionable shit. I said some questionable shit, but I don't care. I'm trying to think of that fourth one. Part of me wants to go like a FTR for real,
okay.
but I'm not, because they haven't been. That WWE run was kind of a dark one for them, man. They didn't really. I hated that for them. They really didn't pick it back up.
The main roster run or the NXT run?
True that. The main roster run.
The NXT run was crazy. To this day, the best match I've seen live in person had them in it.
Damn, I'm trying to think of my fourth one though. This is a tough one. I'm gonna just go the Hardys, man. Like I'm gonna go low hanging fruit with that one. Just for their impact.
Willie threw a curveball in there. Respect for pulling Harlem Heat. Like that's not. I didn't even think of them, which is sad. But so I wasn't far off. That shocked me with the Young Bucks pick. But to be honest, you also shocked me by picking the Usos over the New Day. I thought that was gonna be your fort, like the New Day. So respect to that. We all had the Dudleys, of course, right? We had the Dudleys up there. Me and Dan, I had LOD up there because you have to respect what
I
LOD.
almost put
Yeah,
them on my list because I was a big fan of them as a kid.
I thought
Also,
that was gonna be our two
yeah.
constants, like
Okay.
LOD and the Dudleys. I thought that was gonna be our constants.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt not to put the Hardys up there, right? It's gonna hurt. But the reason why I'm giving the Young Bucks the edge is they took what the Hardys did, they not elevated it, but not just in the ring, the business side of
Yeah.
it.
You
Like
can't
what
not
they've
put that.
done, like
That's
their
the other
business
thing, man.
acumen is top notch from what they did with the YouTube for starting what's the name of that YouTube page that escapes me? Being the elite. Yeah, being the elite. How they started that YouTube page and then they like incorporated storylines into YouTube and it brought them into the ring. So you
They
had to
look
watch
they
the
low key
YouTube,
they low key were the wrestling version of the Paul brothers as far as their
right?
YouTube
Or like the
space.
wrestling, or like the version of Marvel where you had to watch What If. You had to watch the cartoons to catch up on the storylines of what's going on in real life. How they went over to do their T-shirts solo. They started their own T-shirt company. Said we don't need the big corporations. We're gonna sell our own merch. We're gonna do our own merch here to get in their deals at Hot Topic, where their sneakers and shirts are sold in Hot Topic, starting their own company and being innovative in ring. So for what they did in the business aspect is why I'm giving them the nudge over the Hardys. But it's no disrespect to the Hardys at all.
I think
Go ahead.
my bad. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
And for my last tag team, I gotta go New Day, man. Like I gotta go New Day. Like I just have to for what they've done. Like Willie said, for the black wrestlers and the black wrestling fans, being the most decorated tag team in WE history, winning the most times, and leading that to Kofi and all that, this and the third. So, yeah, I got to go LOD, Dudley's, Young Bucks, and the New Day.
Here's the reason why I go Usos over the New Day.
Okay, I would love to hear that.
That's a tough one. The reason why I go Usos over the New Day though is because number one, that bloodline run for the Usos sealed it because they had two things that stands out. Number one, they had a better story than the New Day ever had, including, like, I'm talking about just the story itself, including Kofi Mania, because Kofi Mania was just simply about Kofi, not the New Day as a whole. They had a better story than arguably any tag team in the history of WWE. And then two, I remember way more Uso matches as a whole than New Days. Like if I sit here and think about it, not to say the New Day didn't put on good to great matches, but as far as classics, like I can name you off rip like Uso matches before the bloodline and after the bloodline that were absolute bangers, like classics. You know what I'm saying? Like the Usos as a tag team, to Willie's point, Willie was like, he can't put Edge and Christian up there because you enjoy them solo. We love the Yeet movement. If you ever want to question like them as wrestlers, go back and look at them as a tag team. Like their tag team matches would stand out, and I think they put in.
What's your favorite Uso match tag team?
That's the thing about it. My favorite is the Hell in a Cell match with New Day.
Okay, I just want you to say that because I think that's mine as well.
But my other, but
Hell in a Cell.
I'm gonna tell you what's a close second. That tag match at Money in the Bank with them and the Street Profits, fire. Like go back and watch
Yeah, I
that.
might gotta go back and watch that.
You know what I'm saying? I think the Usos in ring work was better than the New Day. I think their stories was better than the New Day. I think the New Day. I even think their promos, like just as talkers, like not as far as the antics and stuff like that, but just as talkers, like the Usos. You for those to remember, like when the Usos first turned heel, and they turned heel on Alpha. I think it was Alpha Academy. I don't know if it's Alpha Academy or, but the tag team with Chad Gable and what's the man that got hurt name Jordan something. Jason Jordan, right? When they was a tag team and they first did their first promo and they came out through the crowd and they hit the famous line of, you know what I'm saying, no, it's not paranoia, it's the Usos, and they took off running from there. Like just as talking, I think they just better as far as promos. The thing that stands out to me about the New Day is all the memorable moments. Like the moments that they had as far as the stuff, like as far as like the innovative things they did to get people invested, from the throwing the pancakes to the bootios and all that other stuff, all of that was super dope, and they deserve to be in the conversation. But if I'm looking at everything as far as importance, I think for what the Usos did in the bloodline alone, we'll remember that long time from now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think the New Day outside of Kofi Mania has a specific time frame or story that we're going to remember from decades on. We'll be talking about the Usos bloodline run, because the Usos was just as important to the bloodline as Roman Reigns was. You know what I'm saying? I think we'll remember that from decades on from now. We'll be talking about that 20 years from now. So yeah.
That's interesting. I respect that.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to post this on our pages, guys. We're going to post our Mount Rushmore tag teams. I'm interested to see what you all as fans Mount Rushmore for tag teams with justifications on why for some of your picks. All right, that's interesting. I like that. I like this topic. There we go.
Yeah.
Tag team wrestling is strictly, and it'd be a good tag team for a long time.
Public, if y'all don't have a black tag team on your Mount Rushmore, you're racist. All right, I'm telling you that right now, you're racist. You're absolutely racist.
But for the record, though, if anybody had the New Day over the Usos, I'm not gonna argue that. Like, both of them deserve to be up there. Some other tag teams.
Pick is Harlem Heat. That was a good pull, Willie. And I'm mad I didn't think of them. That's a very good pull.
Cause we didn't even. I mean, it's some other tag teams there to be mentioned.
No, there's a lot of other tag teams. Like if somebody says like the Rock and Roll Express, I'm not mad at them at all.
Or the Heart Foundation. You know what I'm saying?
Heart Foundation, like I'm not mad at them at all.
Yeah, so yeah, man. We ain't Steiner Brothers. It's a lot of tag teams, man. It's a lot of tag teams.
Of tag teams.
Yeah, man. But thank y'all for locking in with us, man. This episode 54. Yes, we still watch wrestling, man. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Make sure you lock in with us. Make sure you talk to us. Like I said, we're gonna post. I'm actually gonna work on some stuff now as soon as we hit in. But thank y'all. Love y'all. Enjoy your week. Be blessed. Until next time, we out.
Be blessed, y'all. Love y'all.